For more, I'm joined now by Daniel Markey from the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. Thanks for being with us. So, what do you make of Prime Minister Modi's defence of stripping Kashmir of its special status, saying it's all about restoring past glories?
Well, this move is something that Prime Minister Modi and his party have been talking about for quite some time. And the idea is that Kashmir has, their idea is that it's been, in effect, held hostage by its special status, and that by eliminating the special rules, they will be able to bring in more investment, other Indians will come there, do business, and so on. And he's obviously framing it in the rosiest possible terms. As you pointed out, this is an area that's under a communications blackout. And from every indication that we have, the people of Kashmir are not terribly happy about this change.
Well, Pakistan says that it is suppressing the Muslim population and is accusing Prime Minister Modi of being a Hindu supremacist. So that's how they see it, isn't it?
It is. Pakistan has a challenge here in getting the world to try to see the issue through their eyes. It's a bit of a stretch. Pakistan, of course, also engages in repressive policies at home, including of journalists and free speech. So they have a weak stance on this particular position. But of course, they're going to push it as far as they can.
And tensions are clearly very high along that disputed border in Kashmir. So is there a risk, once again, of conflict between India and Pakistan over Kashmir?
Yeah, there are two big risks out of this move. The first is the one you just identified. There's every reason to believe that militant groups based in Pakistan, to some extent with Pakistan's support, would attempt to disrupt the peace of Kashmir or of India more broadly in response to this action. This is the type of thing that they've been saying this is likely. The other risk is that the people of Kashmir themselves, when this current crackdown or repression is lifted to some extent, will rise up, and you'll see popular protests emerging in Kashmir of the likes we haven't seen since the 80s.
Well, does it quite make sense, India's Prime Minister saying this is all about giving rights to Kashmir and cracking down at the same time?
Well, it doesn't fully add up from the perspective of Kashmiris, but for the rest of India, Kashmir has not been a success story since the founding of India. And they have relatively little reason to believe that the status quo was likely to work. And so they're aching for some new change. And so Prime Minister Modi is very popular throughout much of India and has all of the political latitude to make these changes.
How about China? There's a UN Security Council meeting, isn't there, on Friday?
There is. One would expect that China, being a close friend and in many ways an ally of Pakistan, would be much more likely to criticize India in this case. But of course, China has its own problems in Xinjiang and now in Hong Kong. There's every reason to believe that this was a shrewdly timed move by India, where China will be that much less likely to say anything to criticize what India says is its own internal business, because China doesn't want to be criticized either.
Daniel Markey, thanks for being with us.
Of course.